Hi everyone, and welcome to this edition of CityVision. I'm Mark Murray. You know, we got a big event coming up in the city, and you're invited to it, and we're going to tell you all about it. It's called Make a Difference Cleanup, and we're going to tell you a little bit about the history of the event, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the event itself. And with me to talk about that are Carla Fear, Vice Mayor of the City of Hamilton, Darla Bocchino, she's the cleanup chair, and she's from our Underground Utilities Department, and Butch Hubble, who's director of the Booker T. Washington Center and the chair of the Hamilton Community Council. Welcome, everybody.
Thank you.
It's been a while since we've had so many guests. Well, Carla, you were on the show a few years ago talking about the cleanup when it was held that spring, and of course it's an annual event.
Right, it is.
So tell our viewers a little bit about the history of this thing.
Well, our event now is really an old event with a new title, and we did have a citywide cleanup that actually got started when we had a lot of businesses downtown. It was like a corporate challenge, and there were just 100 people that would come out and help, and we would go into the individual neighborhoods and just help get things cleaned up. About 8 years ago, when I was on the image committee for Vision 2020, we started talking about maybe trying to set up a Keep Hamilton Beautiful, similar to Keep Cincinnati Beautiful.
Sure.
And in talking to them, one of the things that they kind of instructed us or helped us with is to understand that when you do a cleanup, their mantra is, we work with you, not for you. And it just seemed like more and more what was happening is that we were just coming in and really cleaning up neighborhoods that the neighbors themselves were not really being a part of. Mm-hmm. And so that's one of the things that we were trying to change with it. We felt like if we could divide it up twice a year, maybe it would make it more, stay on people's minds more. We decided to go with the one in the spring is on Earth Day, because if you associate it with an event that's already in place, maybe too it will help.
Sure.
And then this is with Make a Difference Day. So we're really trying to get people to put it in the forefront of their minds more often, instead of it just being an annual event that the city comes in and does for people.
In how many years has this been going on?
I believe it's been maybe close to 20.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know I've been involved for probably the last 10 or 12 years just as a volunteer, and then just got more and more involved. And actually all three of us are actually on the committee right now and have talked about ways that we need to make a change to have it be more effective. And
we're talking about changes, so what are the differences between everything that we've done before and what's going to happen coming up? And by the way, we should throw out the date of the event. I know we'll scroll that. But
Right. The date of the event is Saturday, October 26th, and it's from 9 o'clock a.m. to 12 o'clock p.m.
Great. So what are all the differences? What can people look for?
Well, one of the major differences is we used to drive, and we'd have Packer trucks from Rumpke, and we'd have great big huge trucks from the city garage drive down all the streets, and people could set out all kinds of large items that they didn't know how to get rid of, and we'd pick them up on that day. Well, one of the big changes is we have a contract with Rumpke, and that contract allows individual citizens to call a number, 867-8661, at any time, and their large item can be picked up at their house. It's part of what we pay every single month in our utility bill, and it seems like a lot of people don't realize that. And a lot of the items we were picking up and paying to dispose of that day as a city were items that people could set out all year long, call Rumpke, and Rumpke would pick it up with their weekly trash pickup. So we went from spending $30,000 a year on one event to spending $20,000 on two events. Mm-hmm. So that is the major change that we're making from previous years to this year. And then we're also going to be picking up tires, and we don't have the location where you can drop the tires off yet. We're trying to get a grant from Bridgestone, so it could possibly be at one of the local tire stores, and if not, then we'll have a Packer truck to be able to pick up tires at one of the locations.
All right, well, good.
But the main focus of this event is to beautify areas, pick up litter off the streets, and get neighbors involved in taking ownership of their neighborhoods.
Get people out.
And get people out.
Absolutely. All right, well, Carla, what neighborhoods are involved?
Okay, I'm going to read this so that I get this right.
Okay.
We have Bailey Square, which is in 2nd Ward. There will be team of people there. And then in the 5th Ward, Crawford Woods Elementary. German Village is going to be the Carriage House on Village Street. Lindenwold is going to be Lindenwold Station on Pleasant Avenue. The north end will be the Joe Nuxall Boulevard Ball Fields. And we have 2 locations on the west side of Hamilton. One is Partners in Prime on Main Street, and the other one is West Side Lowe's. So that's where any group that wants to come can certainly stop by, and we'll have plenty for them to do.
Well, we hope so. Now, are there activities or functions that go on throughout the year?
We have quite a few activities addressing the litter, and refuge. One of the things that we've been doing for quite a while is that we'll get a group of citizens together, and also getting help from the county, with people to come out to help us, and we'll go out on the weekends and basically just clean alleys and streets, pick up trash, and talk to the people in the communities, and let them know that we're here to help, and what they can do to help us keep their neighborhoods and their alleys clean.
And Butch, how would somebody know about an event like that if it was going to happen?
Normally we put that out through the different organizations, like Protocol, the different community organizations that whatever we're going to be in. We try to work together, talking to each other. There's a lot of different community groups throughout Hamilton, but the main thing is we want the community groups to take charge of their own communities and set it up and put the word out and go out and do it. Last year we took about 52 truckloads of trash out of alleys, during the summertime, and just with a handful of people working every Saturday morning. So it's something that's doable, and it can be fun, believe it or not.
Sure, absolutely.
When we get together like
what
that.
else?
Well, one of the things, I'm sorry, did I interrupt you? One of the things that Kathy Klink has been working on, she's been the champion through the Connect People group, which is in the strategic plan, is going into the neighborhoods to try to help establish a group of their own. Lindenwold, as Butch referred to, Lindenwold has Protocol. They have a program once a month where it's called Walk the Wald, and they meet either at Heaven Sent or at Lindenwold Station or whatever, but whoever is available, they come and they meet there, and they just walk through certain areas of Lindenwold, and they just pick up trash, they make observations, they make a list of the 311, which is something we really do need to talk about,
we do.
But they will make a list of 311 items to call. Joel Fink is working on one in North End, I believe, his area, where he has a committee already put together that's doing similar things. So Kathy Klink has done a great job in trying to champion that in areas to make them want to clean their own neighborhood up.
Well, we were talking about, I guess one of the questions I was going to ask is, what's it cost for the city to actually do this event? Who's got the answer to that one?
This, like I had previously said, past years the cost would range anywhere from $25,000 to $30,000. This past spring, and that was for one event. This past spring, with all the changes that we've made with not driving the alleys and with the huge trucks and picking up stuff that people set out, we reduced the cost to $11,000.
Okay.
So we made a significant cost savings on that, which is allowing us to do quite a bit more for this fall cleanup.
All right. Now, I want to make sure. Now, of course, Carl had mentioned a number of the areas. So, if people want to participate,
all
where
they
go?
All they have to do is show up to any one of those areas that were previously mentioned, and you will be supplied with garbage bags and gloves. And the procedure is your captain will give you an area that needs to be cleaned up. You will go to that area, pick up whatever garbage you can, and set the garbage bag at the corners. We have city workers already assigned to go around and pick up those garbage bags after you're done. So it's fairly simple. You're not going to be lugging garbage bags all over the place when it's full. You set it at the corner and move on and go to your next area.
Okay. Now, someone has questions, website, phone number?
There's information on the City of Hamilton website, which is www.hamilton-city.org. Or they can also call our hotline number, which is 785-7229.
Okay.
If they want to pre-volunteer, they can call our volunteer coordinator. If there's like a large group and you want to know what's the best area for you to check into, our volunteer coordinator Karen
Karen
Whitmer,
Whitmer.
can also assist you in hooking you up with the right, area to help clean up with, and her number is 844-8050.
Okay. Now, when we talk about websites, we mentioned 311. Let's talk a little bit about that service, because that's available right off the city's website.
Right.
Anybody want to jump in and explain what it's all about?
Well, it is on our city website, and it has a menu where you can choose whatever your concern is. If it's that there's a traffic light out, or if you notice the grass is really high with your neighbors, or whatever concern that you think needs to be addressed. If you get online, 311, put this in, submit it, then that department will contact you when it is done, or if there's a reason why it can't be done for some reason, they'll let you know that as well. And there's also a follow-up by the city manager, I believe, if it's after maybe 10 days or something, that it has not been addressed.
Right.
So it has proven to be very, very effective right now.
Yes, it has. I've used it myself.
Yeah, I have
and
too.
I know.
And the beauty of it is it's very user-friendly. So a lot of people don't know, okay, what department do I call? You don't have to worry about that.
Exactly.
It's right there. It's very plain. You click on a button, you've got a high grass complaint, and it goes right to the person that needs to get it, and you're not tied up in trying to figure out who to call.
All right. Well, Darla, what if individuals want to drop off items after the event? Where do they go?
They don't go anywhere. They call Rumpke.
They call Rumpke.
They
Okay,
call,
that's good.
They call the transfer station, which is 867-8661, and have that item arranged to be picked up. One of the things that Rumpke will not pick up is hazardous waste, household hazardous waste. There is a drop-off at the county that they have every Thursday, April through the end of October. But for this event only, for the City of Hamilton, we will have a drop-off within the City of Hamilton at Miami University Hamilton from 9 to noon only. So if you have like spent batteries, any items like pesticides that you have in your basement, you don't know how to get rid of them.
Paint, maybe?
Old paint.
Yeah.
You can, latex, oil, doesn't matter what kind of paint you want to get rid of that day. You can take it to Miami University Hamilton on University Boulevard, 9 to noon only that day, and you don't have to drive out to the Westchester location as you would, throughout the year. So they're going to offer that free of service to Hamilton residents on the day of the cleanup.
Good, good. Butch, I want to turn to you for a minute. Can you explain what the CLEAN initiative is? Now, for our viewing audience, that's CLEAN, C-L-E-E-N, and how that fits in with this cleanup.
Well, the CLEAN initiative was basically started in May via a grant. CLEAN stands for Comprehensive Litter Education and Enforcement Now. The whole purpose of the program is to do exactly as the acronym says. We started off with the educational portion of the program, which is telling everybody, and as best we could, you've probably seen the billboards and things like that that are up, that the city will no longer tolerate illegal dumping, illegal littering and things like that, and we started to address the same. After the educational portion was over, then we started the enforcement portion, and that consisted of the police department working hand in glove with the health department, going to households and places where these violations are taking part, and actually talking to the citizens, giving them an opportunity to fix the problem, and then monitoring it basically 5 days later, to see if it was cleaned up. We have had a 90% compliance from those that we've addressed.
Good.
And it's still in progress, it's still work in progress, you might say.
Sure, absolutely.
But the program itself is just makes a whole lot of sense, and it, of course, again, works hand in glove with the what we're doing with the CLEAN initiative here. CLEAN will continue, C-L-E-E-N, will continue on forever, we hope, with the education and the enforcement portion. People, as we've talked about earlier, just didn't know. A lot of people don't know that what's legal and what's not legal. A lot of people think it's okay to throw a trash bag out the window of your car and drive down the street, and even cigarettes, cigarette butts. Well, now that when we feel comfortable that the word is out sufficiently and the educational portion is done, the enforcement will step up. Even though it has already started, it will step up, and it'll help, with that problem that we have. It's working. Okay, that's the bottom line.
That's important.
There. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. I just want to make sure. Is there anything else that we still need to cover about the event coming up? Because if not, I'm going to turn to Carla for some final thoughts for our viewers.
Well, really the purpose of this interview right now, and it's what Butch referred to also, is the education component of it. We are trying to get the word out that things are being done, and they're being done differently, and there's plenty of people that you can contact to get accurate information. I think any small business to a large business will tell you that the best form of advertising is word of mouth. And if we can get citizens to understand what we're trying to do and the importance of what we're trying to do, and again referring to Butch talking about how this leads into the clean and the initiative, this all leads to the bigger picture of economic development for the city and what the city looks like and bringing visitors to town. And I know that, I'm the oldest of 5 girls, and I can remember when we were supposed to clean the house and nobody wanted to do anything, my parents would say, there is nobody more important in this house than the people that live here. We need to keep it clean for ourselves. And I feel that's the same way with the city. It can't be that we go through major cleanups because we're going to have a parade or an event or a function. We need to try to get in the mindset that we're keeping it clean all the time for us as much as for anybody else coming to town.
Absolutely.
So. Thank you.
Well, yeah, you're very welcome. No, thank you all for being on the show today. It's very informative. And of course, we need you to participate, so come on down. And of course, as always, I want to thank you for watching TV Hamilton. Of course, as you know, hometown television with a personal touch. And remember, you can catch this show and other TV Hamilton offerings on TV Hamilton's YouTube channel. And from all of us here at CityVision, I'm Mark Murray. Thanks for watching.